Alright guys, so as you can tell by the shirt, we've got something a little bit different with this one. So I'm obviously recording this after the Champions League final, so didn't quite get the result we wanted. The lads gave it their all, had loads of shots. Courtois was absolutely fantastic, fair play, and they were just more clinical on the night, so not a lot you can do about that. The lads gave it their all, which wasn't quite enough. Unfortunately, same with the Premier League. We had a fantastic season again, over 90 points, only lost a few games. But it's just not enough. You've got to have basically a perfect season to win now. And again, we were pipped by City by a single point again. It's just, what can you say? Fair play again. Again, the lads gave it their all, but it just wasn't quite enough. So we almost got that quadruple, but not quite. Still proud of them though. Still got 2 trophies. We got the FA Cup and the League Cup. And again, we came really close on the other 2. But what's all this got to do with the watch I'm reviewing? So the watch I'm reviewing at the moment is the Trebus Tri 08. So this is one that was released, funnily enough, when we won the title in 1920. So I had to wait a little while for this one. It got delayed due to COVID and stuff. So pushed it back. Had other reviews going on. So I thought I'd wait till the end of the season. Obviously didn't quite get the result we wanted. Didn't get the title again, but still been a good season, as I say. So, question is, are you going to be interested in this watch? Obviously, if you're not a Liverpool fan, you're probably not, but I'll leave a link down in the description to all their other watches, so you can see what else they offer. But obviously, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're probably going to want to check this one out, because the price on it at the moment is fantastic. It's actually got a clearance price on. So originally, this watch was actually over £900. I picked it up for, I think it was just over 200, but we'll get into that as we get into the review, because it's a really good spec watch. Obviously, it's Liverpool connections to it as well. So if you're a Liverpool fan, I think you're really going to want to get one of these while you still can. So enough waffling, let's get right down into it and show you what it's all about. So here's the packaging it comes in. It'll come in and out of box as well, but this is the actual inner box. So we've got the LFC branding again. And it is a nice box, nice hard one. Nice little button. Open it up, quickly go over what else you get in here. So you get a little Trebus tag with the logo, the warranty card. You actually get a 3-year warranty with this, which is really good. Then got the links I've taken out. Just the 3. That's to get it to fit my 7-inch wrist. And then all we've got is the watch. So I'll get all this out of the way and then we'll get right down to it. And here's the watch itself. Obviously you can see this is a red dial version. They actually have a few different other ones. I'll probably leave pictures on screen so you can see them. So if you're not that keen on the red, you should be able to find one that you do like. But they all have this crest, which is really nicely done. It's quite subtle, not overly in your face, so I do like that. It's just a really classily done dial overall as well, I think. You've got the Trebus logo at the top there, along with the branding just below that. That's just printed. Most of the dial is printed as well. So you've got the minute track printed. Then when it comes to the applied indices, you've got one at 12, 3 and 9. And obviously you've got that embossed Liverpool logo down at the 6. I'll probably try and chuck in some macros so you can see it a bit better. And then we've also got applied indices, little dots, at every 5-minute interval. And they're done in high polish. The hands, high polish as well. Got a little bit of lume in there. We'll talk about the lume a bit later on. And you can probably see we've also got a really nice dome crystal on this. And again, we'll be testing out the dome crystal in a bit. Quickly show you the side profile. It's got a nice bit of curvature to that. We've also got that really nice sign crown. Nice detailing on that. Mixture of brushed and polished. When it comes to the actual case, it's fully brushed, just with polished chamfer details on the edge. And then the bracelet. So polished centre links, which do smudge up a little bit. And then polished on the side as well. So quickly zoom back out. and I'll show you this clasp, because this is really nice. So again, signed with the Trebus logo, and then we've got a diver's extension. So, got a milled clasp as well. So to use the diver's extension, obviously you just press this bit in, and then you've got that much adjustment for on the fly, which is really good. Especially with the weather we've been having lately in the UK. That's been really handy. We've also got a couple of little levels of micro adjust either side as well, which I have had to use, because otherwise it was ended up slightly too big. So I do appreciate that they've added that too. So I don't have to have this just open like that normally, even when it's not hot. Whereas if they didn't have them, I would have had to do that. So, well designed, works well. Open it back up again. It's got a bit of Trebus branding on there too. And then, we've got the really nice case back. So you can see we've got a high polish on that. So again, I'll probably chuck in some macros so you can see it a bit better, hopefully. We've got the Champions 1920 season, special edition, Liverpool crest there. And then around the outside we've got Swiss made. I think these are actually individually numbered, because they're special edition ones. And you can also see we've actually got screws on that case back, so it's a screwed case back as opposed to a screw down case back. And then we've got solid end links. And when it comes to the pins, they're push pins, not screw ones. I would have preferred screw ones, to be honest, at the price, but the push ones work well enough. So now let's talk about the dimensions on this. Got a diameter of 41mm, thickness of 12.5, lug width of 20. Then when it comes to this lug to lug, although we do have male end links, they do curve down pretty much straight away. So it doesn't actually wear as long as that end link to end link would suggest, but I'll quickly talk about the measurements before going into more detail. An actual lug to lug of 50mm. Then when it comes to the end link to end link, so effective lug to lug, if you measure it from the top, coming in at 54.6, but as I say, they curve down pretty much straight away. So if I measure it underneath, you'll probably get a better idea of the actual way it wears. So measuring it from underneath, it's more like 47.5. But again, as I say, you'll see what it's like on my 7-inch wrist in a bit. Before we do that though, let's test out whether we've got sapphire crystal. Using the trusty Diamond Selector 2. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. It's always good to see. Not going to worry about it getting scratched. So now, let's check out what the loom's like on this. So you can see we've got a little bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. So, not a great deal of loom on there, but what we've got is pretty good. So apparently the loom on this is actually X1C1, so that's why it's a little bit more white on the indices especially. Although on the hands it does appear a bit more green, so I'm not entirely sure if they actually use the same. According to the listing they have, but it looks to me like they might be different. Looks to me like the hands might be C3 maybe. But either way, because of the amount of surface area you're dealing with, the loom isn't all that usable. The loom on the hands lasts an okay amount of time. Loom on the indices isn't all that visible really. And again, that's not really what this watch is all about. So when it comes to water resistance on this, we've got 150 meters water resistance with that screwed down case back and screw down crown. So if we unscrew that and talk about the movement, because you've probably seen before, down at the bottom there, we've just got Swiss made. That's because the movement in this is actually an SW200, and obviously it's a Swiss made watch as well. So if we pop it out, you can see the second hand stops, we've got hacking. We don't actually have the date function on this one, so there's no ghost date position, just the one position. Move the hands, pop it back in, second hand re-engages, got hand winding, works nicely, no issues, and then just screw it back down. All works well, as you'd expect. So when it comes to the price on these, as I say, they've been reduced significantly. So they were originally £912, but I picked mine up for £230 think it was £250 including VAT. It's £208 before VAT. So a pretty significant price difference. And as I say, they're currently in clearance, so once they're gone, that's it. So if you do want to pick one up, you're going to have to be pretty quick, because I think one of the different dial variations is already sold out. Still quite a few of this one left and a few other different ones, but as I say, limited numbers. So if you do want to pick one up, you're going to have to be quite quick. So all it's left to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. And as I said, with that curved case and those like really steeply angled down male end links, it does wear a lot smaller than that 54 plus end link to end link measurement suggests, which is why I measured it underneath to give you more of an idea. Because as I say, normally with my 7-inch wrist, 50mm is probably the max when it comes to lug, and this is comfortably within that. Wears nicely, hugs the wrist perfectly for me. Really comfortable. Looks really good. Do like the way the light catches that domed crystal and those applied indices on the hands, and then you catch that lovely Liverpool logo down at the 6 as well, the embossed logo. And again, same with the bracelet, those polished links, although they do smudge up a bit and probably will scratch eventually, they do catch the light nicely. But at least that clasp is all brushed, so that won't be scratching up too much, hopefully. And as I say, really handy for the on-the-fly adjustment. Works well. Not overly chunky, I don't think. I think it's just about alright for this kind of watch. But let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you're interested in picking one up if you're a Liverpool fan. And if you are, which dial colour would you go for? Hope you enjoyed this one, something a little bit different. If you're a Liverpool fan and made it this far, you never walk alone. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.